We heard from Lori Vergin today at the Wisconsin State Telecom Association's meeting here in Green Bay, and she spoke really about culture change that telcos need to make to remain competitive. And you suggested, Lori, that telcos are at a competitive disadvantage. What did you mean by that?
Absolutely. The traditional compensation system that is set up for telcos and the rich benefits that they provide employees really puts us at a competitive disadvantage with our competitors who often just employ part-time employees or contractors. And so we're really in an environment now where we have to be able to focus on the core elements of the provision of service to our customers and differentiate ourselves in that fashion.
Well, and you made a distinction, an important distinction between customer service and customer care.
Right. Customer service is something that we've always called our interaction with the customers. And really what I want people to think about is the difference between the approach of serving someone and caring about and being actively engaged with that particular individual. So we do spend a lot of time focusing on the idea of transitioning to customer care and building an experience for the customer that will result in a continued business relationship.
And I want to go back to the experience in a second, but part of what you suggested is that the employees themselves have to learn to be able to recognize the different kinds of customers that they're going to encounter, the different kinds of buyers and so forth.
Absolutely. One of the things that we talked about is the idea that there's considerable psychology used in developing a customer experience. And that includes understanding buying styles and generational groups as well as learning styles so that we can really tailor the experience for the customer as an individual and make them feel like they want to come back and experience it again.
Yeah, and that was something I got out of it, the whole idea of impulse buyers and people are contemplative buyers and so forth.
Yes, I think that if we think about even our families or our friends, we probably can identify several different buying styles with folks that buy on an impulse or folks who really go through the process of reviewing the purchase before they expend the money. But also, one of the things that we want to focus on is taking the products and services that the telco offers and positioning them in a way that the customer would use them and addressing the way that they learn so we can help them get the most out of our interaction.
Well, and how they use them. You gave a great example of how you took one of the retail outlets of one of the telcos and created kind of a home environment. But why don't you tell us a little bit about how you used more senses than just touch and see to excel?
Sure. One of the things that we haven't been traditionally exceptional at in telcos is creating an environment that's conducive to buying. A lot of times our front offices have been more a reflection of the business as opposed to geared toward our customers. And what we did was design an environment for a launch of a TV service. And we created a living room type experience so that people were actually sitting, they were using the remote, they were interacting. And to bring other sensations into that experience, we actually had popcorn available. And we saw that that additional component added to the sales that we saw on the television service. So I think that we need to understand that all the senses can be impacted. And I know that it gets a little bit out there when you start talking about, the light and you start talking about the sense of smell and those types of things. But the reality is that companies who are very successful have looked at all of those different components.
And that makes a lot of sense. I think I'm going to go buy a $5 cup of coffee now. So
there you go. You've actually been impacted by the light and the sound and the smell, somewhat different to what you might get in an area where you tried buying one of those 99-cent cups of coffee.
Exactly. Well, Lori, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.